to school time means crazy busy weeknights, so you need something fast and easy to get on the table that your kids are gonna eat, but should be done in about 30 minutes or less, and that's what I have, is very realistic family meals. No, I'm not making tofu or anything crazy gourmet. I'm making the stuff your family's actually gonna eat that you're gonna get on the table very quickly this time of year. And we're gonna get started with night one right now, and it is just a very simple play on chicken parmesan. I've seen several different versions of this going around on TikTok. I'm gonna make the version my mom used to make even when I was a kid in school. This recipe is literally 4 ingredients, technically 5 because I've got 2 jars of sauce, but you could use 1 big jar of sauce. Any pasta sauce you like, any shaped noodle that you like, some kind of mozzarella, provolone, Italian blend, shredded cheese to go on top, and then frozen chicken patties, and Walmart makes their own version too. But this is all you need. One I saw that is an adaptation of this. You're going to cook and boil this first according to the box, mix sauce in it, put it in the pan, and then put all this on top of it. Mine is separate. For one, my kids, some of them don't really like a lot of sauce, so I keep it all separate. But step 1, follow the package directions on this. Mine says preheat the oven to 400. Normal size baking sheet and some tin foil, cover it to make cleanup easy. A bag of chicken patties typically has 10 chicken patties in it, and just lay them out on the pan all the way across. I kind of lay mine 3, 4, and then 3. Shake your sauce, take your sauce, stir it up a little bit, and then you're going to put sauce on top of each patty. So like 1 big scoop. Rub it to make sure that it covers the entire top of the chicken patty. Now I have a little less than half a jar, actually about 1/3 of a jar. What my mom does is she pours it in between where all the patties meet, so that way even the sides get some sauce. The package directions on this say 17 to 20 minutes. I will put this in the oven for the full 20 minutes because the extra sauce, and at that point is when we'll add the melted cheese. While that cooks, cook your pasta and heat up your sauce, but do this according to the package. My spaghetti says 10 minutes once that boils, so in all of 5 minutes, I'm gonna turn that pot on. Take it out of the oven. I got the creamy melt. Use whatever shredded Italian cheese you wanna use, and I kinda aim for each one, not just like over the whole pan. That way, if someone picks up, this was about probably 3 or 4 minutes. This back in the oven until the cheese is melted. Noodles are finally done. Hot. Here's what the little chicken parmesans look like. And I just have noodles. I cover them in olive oil so they don't stick together if I'm not gonna put sauce on them. And then that's just the extra sauce heated up back there. Here's what my plate ends up looking like. And then my husband, he'll do 2 patties over the sauce and pasta. But yeah, that's what this looks like. I've had this since I was a kid. My kids have had it their entire upbringing. It's just a real fast weeknight dinner. On to the next night. This one is a crock pot meal, and you don't have to, but I'm showing this one specific because for one, crock pots make my life a lot easier when I'm trying to cook fast on weeknights. I throw it all in there, it just sits on my counter, and then we are ready to serve. But I found my new favorite way to make taco meat, and it's in there. Another reason I love this, I don't even have to thaw out the meat. This is still completely frozen, straight from my freezer. I'm gonna open both and put them in the crock pot. So you can see, completely frozen, no camera tricks. 2 packets of whatever taco seasoning your family eats. Make your own, however you do it. I just put 1 over the top and around one of the frozen, and 1 around and on top of the other. I've seen people pour the water in here to get the extra out of there. I'm gonna do it just for fun, but it's 1 cup of water. So a little bit in each one of those. Pour it around and a little bit on top, but keep most of the seasoning on top. That is literally it. Throw this thing on low, 6 hours, 7, 8, whatever you have allotted, and in about 5 hours, come over and I'll show you what to do next. About half of my cook time is done. So I'm gonna remove the lid, and you can see the meat's pretty well done already. Take one of these cute little things and just come in here and start breaking apart the meat little by little, just chop it apart. If you can see in there as I'm breaking that apart, all of this doesn't have all the seasoning on it. That's why I said at the halfway point, break it apart. Now that I've got it all broken apart, it's still got some pretty decent sized chunks in there, but this is gonna continue to cook. Mine for another 3.5 hours, and it's just gonna continue to pull it all in there, make all the meat nice and tender, really distribute the flavor. This turns out phenomenal. And I will do this again with about an hour left. I will go back in here and do this all over again. I put my crock pot on 7 hours on low, so this is 6 hours, and it's more than fine to go ahead and eat. Hold on. Look at it. And it is just like the most perfect texture, and the flavor is all dispersed through there. And if you want to go extra special, I can't do this because of my kids, but skip the water and put in a half to a whole jar of salsa, and that would do even more. We're doing 2 different things with this tonight. You could do normal tacos, you can do nachos, tostadas, almost anything you want to. My kids are having some hard tacos, and Connor and I are gonna turn this into taco salad. This is literally all dinner is crock potting the meat, and then whatever you're going to use it on. So this you have to heat up in the oven for 6 to 7 minutes. Or what else we're gonna do is kind of just all piling it together in a bowl. So dinner is literally just cooking the taco meat in there. Here's what I did with mine. It's like a taco salad type deal. It's got crushed up Doritos and the lettuce, pico, all that in there. But you could just put out your toppings and do hard shells, soft shells, however you wanna do for taco night. Super, super easy. Time for yet another dinner. This one is going to be a chicken hibachi with noodles. You can do rice, and there's a million different ways you can do this. I'm gonna show you one of my favorite ways, but this is a very fast weeknight dinner. You could change up the protein. If you don't wanna do chicken, you could do beef, you can do all vegetarian, you could do fried rice, you could do Asian noodles, you could do both. You can change this a million ways. Also, we do not do mushrooms, and sometimes I add broccoli. I'm not doing either one of those. We're using zucchini, carrots, and onions, however much you want. Typically for about 4 people, that right there should do you as far as the vegetables go. But again, we have a large family, so I always have to size up. For a family my size, I typically do between 1.5 pounds to 2 pounds of chicken. This entire thing came from Aldi. It is just at 4 pounds, so I will use 2 breasts for tonight's dinner and store the other 2, and it was less than $10. So that is a very easy way to make your budget go a lot further on your proteins. Still speaking of Aldi, I'm going to use our favorite teriyaki sauce, and I'm gonna show you what to do if you do not have a teriyaki sauce that you like, so that way this all still tastes amazing without having to worry about tracking down a teriyaki sauce bottle. To move the steps along, wash and dry your produce. Don't wash those, that's kind of stupid, but wash and dry your produce. Peel these. You can leave the skin on or peel it off of your zucchini, complete choice on your own. And I'm gonna go ahead and divide this up and take 2 of these and dice them into small bite-sized pieces, as well as I will cut all of this up into bite-sized pieces and then just show you mine. Produce is cut up, and the reason I'm showing it to you right now and not in a bowl, I have the onions. They are just a normal little dice on that, as well as the zucchini. You get them down to what would be considered like a bite-sized piece. If you're going to use carrots, they take longer to cook and you want them to be smaller and thinner, and I am doing all of this in the air fryer. And if I was doing it in the oven or even in a skillet, these are still gonna take an extra few minutes more than the rest of these. So I will put these in a separate bowl, season them, and put them in first. That's why you're not gonna see the carrots in the mixing bowl in a second. Onions and zucchini are in this bowl, carrots in this bowl. The chicken, as you can tell, is just chopped really small, little bite-sized pieces that'll match all of the rest of this. Every seasoning I do in this bowl, or this bowl, I'm not really sure which one I'm gonna show you, is going to match exactly what I do to the carrots, and I still have to throw the chicken into that bowl. This is just garlic butter, melted butter, garlic powder, and garlic, like granulated garlic. Put some of that in there, and then in the carrots. Sesame oil. I don't really measure, just kind of little drizzle, probably about a teaspoon, maybe 2 teaspoons. Tiny bit of soy sauce, olive oil, about 2 tablespoons, and ground ginger. Ends up being about maybe like a half a teaspoon. Get it all mixed up. I'm gonna be using the Ninja air fryer. You can use a normal air fryer, oven, skillet, however you really wanna cook this. You could do it either way, but preheat whatever you're using. Since I'm using this, 375 for about anywhere between 15 to 18 minutes is what it should take. A little bit of olive oil. Put the carrots in for about 2 to 3 minutes first. Now we're gonna add the mixture in. Mix it in with the carrots. Close the lid and halfway through, stir it. And make whatever you're doing to go with it. I'm doing my noodles, rice, whatever you wanna do. Halfway. The reason you stir it up, because you see the chicken stuck together, stir it up. About 5 to 7 minutes before it's done. If you're going to go the teriyaki route, that's when I would add it in. If you're not, these seasonings that you already put on it are more than fine. And you can also add extra soy sauce at the end, or those coconut amino things, it's same thing. Add the sauce. I end up doing about half a bottle of it. I don't use the whole bottle, that's way too excessive. But this way it cooks the flavor into it while it finishes, but I don't do it the whole time because that will caramelize and sometimes it has burned in there. That's why I wait till closer to the end. Transfer it to some kind of serving bowl. And yes, I had 2 air fryers going for a family my size. Woo!
Carefully, darling.
It happens. There is the finished hibachi. Like I said, you could do this a million different ways. Change the vegetables, change the protein, do it in the oven, the air fryer, on a black stone, however you really want. And it goes really fast. The longest part is literally cutting up everything. And then I'm serving ours with some noodles. They're just kind of a teriyaki thing. I'll put that in the recipe down below. And we serve it with yum yum sauce, extra soy sauce. I always buy a reduced sodium. You can always add more salt, but you can't take it away. And then some salt and pepper. Here's my bowl. I just wish I had some sesame seeds. I don't have any toasted to put on top of it, but this is a family favorite no matter which way we make it. Dinner number 4, we're going to try and make breakfast pizzas. I've only bought the store-made ones in Walmart ready to go. This time we're going to do it from scratch. I've never done it, neither has Connor, and actually he's going to take over a little bit doing this because you see all the pumpkins and everything all over the place. I'm also decorating for fall while we're making dinner, so you're gonna get both of us for this recipe. Be kind, this is not what he's used to doing. Look at him, he's kind of like freaking out.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
He's preheating the oven. Just whatever store-bought pizza crust you're using, follow the directions on that as far as your oven, and then put this on a cookie sheet. Obviously, with a family our size, we are doubling. I will have the single recipe in the description box, but double.
This is gonna go great.
Also, the recipe calls for store-bought, like pre-done sausage gravy. I can't find that anywhere, nor do I actually want to. So we're gonna do some good old Jimmy Dean in a pan, brown this up and crumble it. For country style white gravy, this is my absolute favorite packet. It comes together the fastest, no muss, no fuss, anytime, and it tastes delicious. This is my definite go-to for that.
Never used this thing before. Oh, not too bad. But we're not gonna stick today.
Don't make dirty jokes.
The zingo. Come on, unstick yourself, buddy. Oh.
Whoa.
If I can do it, you can definitely do
A little rusties. It's seen him out of luck.
it. Ka-chow.
Okay, here.
Oh, it's got a drizzle function? Mm-hmm. Look at that, see? I switch a spoon before.
Watch out.
You do it. You're gonna get it in your hands?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There's Tiny Whisk.
Yeah, but in your hands, that's like what, like a normal whisk?
Hey, there is a reason I'm having him do this as well, not just to help me out, but this is basically how we are. He helps me cook at least half the week, if not more than that. So this little comic banter and crap, this is actually what we get in our house. So realism. Back to Connor cooking.
I make messes.
Oh, he makes big messes.
Recipe calls for 8 eggs a pizza. I'm gonna cut that down to, I think, like 5. Right, time to salt, pepper, add a little bit of milk in there. That's how you
and butter in the pan.
Well, get that tiny whisk of whisking. And to make it melt easier, I'm gonna cut it to each a tablespoon apiece. I thought you already turned the pan on for me, darling. My bad.
No, I didn't. I thought you did. He's working on breaking up the sausage. Whatever gravy packet, jar, whatever it is you're using, go ahead and make it while that's working. So that's all we're doing is following the packet on this in that pot back there.
That's sitting in one pot.
Get the brown,
get that
crispy.
Gotta get that crispy texture.
Cook your eggs all the way through to however you like them. Keep in mind this is going in the oven for a little while, so they might cook a little more. So be careful of that. Don't make them too far gone. Cook the rest of your sausage, make your gravy. And this is breakfast pizza. Don't forget to put your crust in the oven like we just almost did, because it has to go in. 6 to 7 minutes and then take it out and we're gonna top it and then it'll go back in. I just pulled the pizza crust out. I'm trying to finish up the gravy. This is why I love that packet. There was no effort required and it's just a beautiful consistency. And I'm trying to get some of this dark grease out of here. You can leave it, it's up to you, but I don't like that going into the gravy. I'm going to combine them. Don't want to waste any of that, so I'm gonna scrape it out too. First step is the gravy on the crust. So I'm gonna put like half on that one. It's a little less than half. This made a lot of gravy. Leave a little bit of crust for you to grab, like normal pizza. Eggs all over.
See, they call for 8 eggs a pizza.
Yeah, that's excessive. Colby Jack cheese all over the top. Real bacon pieces. I have the reduced sodium because that's what Walmart had, but I'm not mad at that. And just sprinkle that over the top as well. And the recipe says 6 to 7 minutes. I think it's gonna take a little longer than that, but I'll let you know how long.
All right. Took a total of an extra 12 minutes. Started to get a little bit of a golden brown on the edges around the crust.
I got some strawberries for the kids to go with this. You know, I kind of figured keep it on the breakfast side, but we also have yogurt and anything else that they want to add to this. But there is what the pizza looks like. And I'll show it once we cut it, obviously, but this is the first round. I just need to cut up my strawberries, but this is what the inside looks like of the pizza. That way you guys know. So far, we've got reviews from Tristan. He said it's really good. I can easily say we did not need to double this recipe, so I would not recommend it if you have a family of like 4 or 5, unless you want to freeze it, store it in the fridge for breakfast, like throughout the week, which is what I'm gonna be doing with this one, because we're barely going to finish off this one. And that is not me saying that this is not good, because this is fantastic. This is probably one of my favorites of the week so far. So good, but very filling. One more note on the pizza. My mom and my aunt just stopped by, tried it too, and they think it's great. So more recommendations for this one. Tonight's dinner is 5 ingredients, very easy. I had one way I was gonna make it, but you can do this a couple different ways, which is lucky for me. Tonight is going to be the deconstructed version instead of the casserole. But this is a play on KFC bowls. So you need to drain a can of corn, ever kind of chicken gravy you like, packet, jar, homemade, you're going to need some chicken gravy. Mashed potatoes, again, I'm making my life super easy and getting the little microwave ones. They have them in the frozen department. You can make homemade, get them from the deli, whatever you want. A cheese that you like, I'm using shredded cheddar cheese only because we did Colby Jack on last night's dinner. And then chicken tenders, because you're going to cut these up into pieces. You can fry them yourself, get the frozen kind. This is just to make it super easy. All this is already ready for me, I just have to heat it. My plan originally was to do this in a casserole. So put this in the bottom of a 13x9, spread it out in an even layer, then drain this, sprinkle it all over the top. Take these, air fry them for, you know, about half the time, take them out, cut them up, and put them on top of that. Sprinkle the cheese all over the top of those 4. Then take the entire jar, drizzle it over the top, and heat this in the oven for about 25-ish minutes. That was the casserole option. Since my kids want to be pains in the butt, what I have to do now is heat this, heat those, heat this, and air fry these, and we're going to make individual bowls instead of a casserole. I have all 5 ingredients set out. The picky children, again, are deconstructed. For the actual bowls, put some mashed potatoes in the bottom. I love to make sure my cheese melts, so I like to put my cheese where I know hot stuff is. Throw on your chicken, add your corn, gravy, and a little bit of cheese just to sprinkle on top to be pretty. Here's what my bowl looks like up close, and this is so fast. It's even faster to do it this way than in the casserole. The casserole would take about like 25 or so minutes, but I only had to heat up the chicken, which took 12 minutes in the air fryer, and while I was doing that, I was able to heat up all of this. So dinner literally was less than 15 minutes done. Here's one more look at all the recipes. Thank you guys so much for being here with me for the entire week of dinners. If you make any of these, tag me over on Instagram or let me know in the comments down below. I have a fall dinner video coming up as well. I love cooking with you guys and sharing recipes. If there's any you want me to try, put those below as well. And I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.